Hello YouTube, it's Peter Gaming Scotland here and welcome back to another video. Hope you guys are well and gaming lots. So in today's video, I'll be asking the question, should you buy Far Cry 5? The latest open world game from Ubisoft. I'll be first of all describing my thoughts on each of the main subjects within the game, giving you pros and giving you maybe a couple of cons as well, and my own personal opinion. And basically it'll be up to you to decide whether to try it or not. I'll give you my advice, this is my own opinion, so let's get into the video. So, Far Cry 5 is Ubisoft's newest open world game set in the fictional county of Hope County in Montana. It's totally fictitious. When at first I was reading up about the game, and they were saying about the setting in America, sort of farmland, sort of areas of America. I kind of was thinking, I wasn't really sure about it because I just thought it'd be farmland and really sort of open space and grassland and not much to do and explore. But boy, was I wrong. Eat my words there. The setting is absolutely fantastic. There's a lot to do in the world, and it's how I really imagine the sort of outback sort of America to be. Now hopefully my American viewers, if there are a couple of you, hopefully you can reiterate that point and tell me how realistic it is to the part of America that you're from. But yeah, the setting is fantastic in my eyes. So basically, when I also read up about there's going to be no towers and no minimap in previous Far Cry games like Far Cry 4 and Primal, basically you did the towers, that unlocked certain areas of the map, and you pretty much did your missions and your side quests, and that opened you up to more parts of the map, and it was just rinse and repeat, and you kept doing it that way. But whereas now, also, there was the minimap, and you just sort of looked. Obviously you've still got the main massive map and you hit your trackpad, but at the same time I was a bit worried when they said there's going to be no mini map or no towers. But actually, when actually playing the game for myself, I'm surprised it's actually taken them this long to get rid of the mini map and towers. As an open world game should be explored at the player's own pace, which this one is. You can go as fast or as slow as you want through each regions of the game at your own pace, and you should just be able to discover new missions, side quests, characters and collectibles as you play, this is basically what this game allows you to do. And it's a fantastic balance, I feel, and a fantastic progression from previous Far Cry games. But it is, at the end of the day, a Far Cry game nonetheless. I really enjoy Far Cry games and open world games in general, so I really am enjoying this game. It's absolutely fantastic. So basically the game sets off on Dutchess Island. It's basically Tutorial Island, so it gets you used to talking to the NPCs, doing a mission, doing an outpost, doing a pepper stash, and just sort of exploring and just getting used to the controls of Far Cry 5, which can be a bit new and difficult to get used to if you're new to the franchise, but you do get used to them. That really, one of my only gripes is really the controls of flying and driving the car. You can only get one view of being inside the car, whereas I like the camera from like the GTA games where you see it from behind the vehicle and you can sort of see your surroundings. Makes it a bit easier. But as I say, the controls are my tiny little gripe on my part, but really it's not game breaking, it's not the end of the world, as you can get used to the controls very quickly. So yeah, so basically the game is split into three different big cities or three areas of the map, and then once you basically everything you do from main missions, side quests, earning collectibles, doing the pepper stashes, and just freeing hostages, etc. around each region gives you XP, or in this case resistance points. And when you've got enough resistance points, you then take on that region's boss, and then you progress that way. I think this is a fantastic balance, and it's one of the better Far Cry games because of it, because you can spend as much or as little time as you want in each region before moving on. You could spend hours upon hours getting 100% each region, or you can just get enough points to move on to get the platinum maybe, or just to finish off the game if you're pressed for time. It's absolutely fantastic balance, and it's a really fantastic game. And also within the open world, when you chat to NPCs, say for example you get bored of them chatting, you walk away, they actually stop the conversation. I've not actually seen this before in open world games, because normally you would select the character to talk to and they would just repeat the same spiel about the mission or the area that they're in. But in this game, if you actually walk away from the character, they stop talking altogether, and you could miss out on vital information about the world or the part of the map you're in or the mission you're about to start. So it really is important to listen to what they have to say. And there's been a couple times I've actually totally missed out a couple parts because I've just been so bored and just continued to walk around and actually forgot they finished conversating. So it really is important to listen to what they have to say for the NPCs. So the missions and the side quests are very varied in this game compared to previous games. I really am enjoying the missions and the side quests. There's a fantastic side quest called Testy Festy right early on in the game, and you've basically got to kill bulls or cows that are humping the bulls are humping the cows, basically. A bit not safe for work, but it's a really bizarre mission actually. And there's quite a lot of varied missions. There's flying missions, there's boat missions, and just the side quests in general are really fun. And it's a really good way of hunting to get a lot of money, because money is hard to come by. But you can also do the pepper stashes for lots of money and ammo and perk points. It's a really fantastic way. And also the microtransactions. I was a bit peed off when I found out that this game had microtransactions, but really the game doesn't need microtransactions at all. It may quicken up you getting that skin for that weapon or that vehicle, but really I don't see the need for having microtransactions in this game at all, because as you play through the game and doing the missions and side quests, you do unlock vehicles and you do unlock other items. So there really is no point of having microtransactions in this game. I really don't see the point of them being in the game, but suppose they have to make money back. But in saying that, if they can't make a game just by selling the game alone, the standard game version of the game alone, then what the hell are they doing? Because obviously games take a lot longer nowadays to make, a lot more people are involved, and the time it takes to make these fantastic games takes a lot longer. So obviously they're a business at the end of the day, and they want to try and sell as much of these games to the population as possible. So that's why they do dabble in the political side of things, but they haven't gone too much in depth, and I can understand why, because they don't want to offend or aggregate any tensions between political different groups in America. So that's another reason why the game is actually fantastic, because if they went too much in depth politically, then it would have made a lot of groups in America pretty angry. But really honestly, it's a fantastic game nonetheless. Also, I just want to mention quickly, the soundtrack for this game is absolutely incredible. Whoever made this soundtrack, big props to you. Or if it's a group of people, fantastic soundtrack. It really is fitting in the game of Far Cry 5. It really is fantastic. I honestly can't praise the game enough. It seems a really well thought out, balanced game with a fantastic soundtrack, and also you can play multiplayer via arcade mode, whether in the main menu, or you can find sort of kiosks, arcade kiosks throughout the world to go in and explore, play other people's maps. There's 4 different types of maps, and also you can create your own maps and levels, which gives the game added longevity and hours and hours and hours of fun. And there's also DLC coming out for the game. You can get to play Far Cry 3 depending on what edition you got of the game. There's Zombies DLC, and there's other DLC coming as well. There's 3, but obviously games are becoming more like a service nowadays, so I expect to see even more DLC coming in the future for all those Season Pass players, and all the people that didn't get the Season Pass this time. I think they'll be able to sell them separately eventually further down the line to keep that Far Cry 5 dream alive for all the content. So that is all the fantastic good points about the game. The only 2 issues really I've had are the driving controls when I first started in the car and helicopter, but once I got going with the game, I was able just to get the controls a lot better, a lot more down and dusted. Controls were hard to start with, but they're not as difficult now, as I've played pretty much near the end of the game. I've dabbled in pretty much every area. Excuse me. And also, unfortunately, there have been quite a lot of glitches I've came across. There will be a couple I might add into the background of this video just to prove that there have been glitches, but there's not really been any game break. Well, there has been really, but really just the NPCs just acting up and not coming into the map properly, not loading in properly. And I also managed to get outside the map, and there will be video footage in this video of that happening. I was randomly doing a pepper stash, got stuck in the wall and managed to fall outside the map, which is kind of disappointing because this game has probably been in development for a good 3 or 4 years, and to find glitches like this in a AAA game at 40-50 quid's worth, or a $60 game in America, is pretty disappointing. They've had more than enough time to develop a fantastic game, which it is fantastic, but to still see glitches in the game, it's really off-putting, and I just find it a bit disappointing, really, if I'm being honest. But there you go, that has been my review of Far Cry 5 and whether or not you should get it. I've given you my own opinion of different elements of the game. So in conclusion, it's a fantastic open world game. If you like open world games, and if you're a fan of Far Cry 5, then I would highly recommend you buy this game. Any version really. I got the limited edition because when I was looking at pre-ordering the game, the standard edition pre-order was sold out, so I had to go with the next level up, which I didn't really want to do, but at the same time it was only a couple of extra pound, so I thought, yeah, let's go and buy it. But I've put a good 30-40 hours into the game. I'm still not finished it, but I've dabbled on every island, and I really am enjoying the game. And I hope to play more arcade maps, and hopefully create my own arcade maps in the future, so watch out for that. But the only downside is the glitches and the controls, in my opinion. But if you're not sure about the game, look at some of the reviews online. If you're into open world games, I would obviously suggest you get it. But if you're not, if you never played Far Cry 5, or never played any Far Cry game or open world game, then I would probably wait till the price drops, because it will take a while for this game to drop in price, because it's obviously brand new and it's been one of the anticipated games excuse me, in recent times. So let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if you've played the game. Let me know if you're enjoying the game or you're not enjoying the game. But as always, that has been my Far Cry 5 review, and whether or not you should buy the game, end of the day, it comes down to your personal choice. Thank you very much for watching. I've been PS3 Gaming Scotland, and I'll see you on another video. Bye now, guys. Thanks very much.